Hello YouTube, I'm Viaduke9000 and I'm here with my 7th gaming review for SSX on the PlayStation 2. The third installment in the franchise that began with SSX, a launch game for the original PlayStation, and its multi-platform sequel, SSX Tricky. Why was it named that? I think it had something to do with a song by Run DMC that had the name, and it was promoted heavily in the game. Anyways, snowboarding seems to vanish after SSX on Tour, this game's sequel, announced 3 in 2005. Since then, we've only had SSX Blur for the Nintendo Wii, Shaun White snowboarding for the PlayStation 3, and Stoked for the Xbox 360. The latter two don't seem to have been well critically received all that good. But there's hope, because there's going to be a new SSX game known as Deadly Descents. Everyone seems to be whining that it's dark and brooding, but remember, it's only a trailer. They don't actually represent the game. I mean, look at Sonic 06. The first trailer sure as hell didn't turn out like the game we all thought it was gonna be anyways. When you come into the game, there are four modes. Single event, in which, well, you can obviously do whatever you like. Conquer the mountain, the main story. Multiplayer, options, and I think there's online, but I haven't checked. There's no real story for this game, unlike, well, Tony Hawk's Underground 2. At least try, for God's sake. But the game takes place on this gigantic mountain that we never really get told the name of, but there are 3 peaks on each mountain. You start on the first peak, and it's your objective to get to the top and be awesome. There are multiple challenges that you have to do. The first challenge has its own category known as racing. There are about 3 to 4 races per mountain. The first 2 are usually going down the tracks that are made for the mountain. The third one is going from the beginning to the mountain to another part of the mountain when you're racing against someone else. And the final part is racing down the entire mountain. And here's some advice. When you're on the higher peaks like Peak 2 and Peak 3, when you're doing the whole going down the whole mountain thing, you're going to go through pretty much every mountain in the game. I'm not kidding, that's pretty much it. Well, I don't know why I said that, but what the hell. There's another category known as freestyle, in which you can do multiple events. These are super pipe, big air, and slopestyle. These are all essentially different versions of score attack, in which you try to get higher versions of the highest score out of everyone. You have 3 times to do this. The score of your first 2 heats combined will allow you to get into the final round if you get into 3rd place at the very least. When you complete all of these challenges, they'll be the last 2 challenges will be similar to the other last 2 racing challenges that I talked about previously. There are multiple characters to choose from in this game. One of them I know is Elise Riggs, who's appeared in every game in the series and was voiced by Lucy fricking Liu in the 2nd game for some reason. And yes, old SSX fans, she's returning for Deadly Descents. But I mostly played it as an irritating butthole known as Nate, whose voice really annoyed the crap out of me because it sounded just so damn stupid. Your objective is obviously to get to the higher mountains and be the best. And when you win the final challenge of racing or freestyle, you get a pass that'll allow you to go to the higher peaks. I don't know what happens when you complete the peak jump challenges as well, because I only did the racing ones. But, well, I honestly don't know what happens. The controls in the game work like this. The X button allows you to charge up your jump, and be careful, you won't be able to maneuver around much when you're launching up for a jump. The square button on the ground will allow you to boost yourself if the meter allows it. The circle button allows you to do a handstand on any grindable object, and when it comes to grinding, you just have to jump on the object, not jump and press some random button for it to connect. The R1, R2, L1, and L2 buttons on the ground will allow you to hit your opponent. And there's a fancy gimmick that if you hit your opponent once, they're going to be hostile to you for the rest of the game. So it is kind of annoying, I guess, but, well, what can you do? And while in the air, you can use the R1, R2, L1, and L2 buttons to do a grab trick, and you can use the square button to tweak that particular trick so you can get more points. Although, when it comes to points, the best way to do it is to use the directional pad. When you're in the air, you can use the left and right on the directional pad to spin, and using up and down on the directional pad to flip, which is pretty awesome. There's also a meter on the right side of the screen where if you get it full, you're allowed to do Uber tricks. Basically, these are fancy tricks that are allowed to get you more points, but really don't help much in the whole score attack thing, to be honest. One thing I find pretty awesome is, well, how you're allowed to go down the entire mountain with little to no loading times. That's just awesome. But hey, it's a PlayStation 2. You can make non-loading times within the capabilities of the technology that don't glitch up much like today's games, or the free roaming ones anyways. If I'll be completely honest, this game is the snowboarding equivalent of Jack X. And by that, I mean great, but frustrating as all hell. You will restart multiple times, and like Jack X, if you're in the second heat of something and you restart, you're going back to the first heat very annoyingly. Thankfully, this isn't counting for races, so yay! Something also that I find really bizarre is that there's not that much music tracks in the game. There's only like 30 or something. I mean, other games like Tony Hawk's Underground had like 60 at the very least, and this only has like 30. So if you're not a big fan of any of them, then you may as well just press the ambience button so that you can listen to the sounds in the background. Minus the awesome sounding DJ. Hey. So, I don't have much else to say about this game aside that, again, it's snowboarding Jack X. Great, but frustrating as all hell. So, yeah, it's a pretty awesome game. The snowboarding is fun as all hell, but, well, snowboarding's meant to be awesome, and it's definitely better than Cool Borders 4 on the PlayStation. The graphics are great, the music's pretty fun, and it's awesome going down a mountain when there's a freaking avalanche behind you. Although it doesn't seem to impact things much. Oh well, what can be done? And yeah, there's not that much music, and it's incredibly frustrating and annoying when people hit you and steal your routes. Nah. So, well, yeah, if you like snowboarding, and well, just get this damn game if you like snowboarding anyways. I shall see you for my 10th video, which is actually going to be kind of surprising. Why? It's going to be my top 15 most hated characters in gaming. So, I'll see you there, my sentimental young boobies. Why did I say that?
Hey, Michael. Yeah? Try going right. I can't go right. Hey, Michael. Yeah? Try going left. I can't go left. Hey, Michael. Yeah? Try to play the game. I thought I was playing the game, John. But I've been using the wrong controller the whole time. The game's playing itself, John. The game's playing itself, John! The game's just playing itself, John! The game just... John!
Go to normalboots.com right now to see a new JonTron original, and if you want to follow us on social networking, go to facebook.com/JonTronShow or twitter.com/JonTronShow.